Great. Welcome. I'm afraid that my lecture today will have to be in English because my Hebrew is not good enough yet to talk about these things in Hebrew. I'm going to talk about some subject connected a bit to the last presentation about Muslims in German football, and especially Muslim players in the German national team. You're going to see some pictures that are reminiscent of the pictures that you saw in the last presentation, and other things are going to be completely different. First, I'm going to give you a short overview about specifically integration, immigration, and citizenship in Germany, because it is much different than in France. Then the second one, Muslims in the German football team, which played a role much later than in France. And actually, the issue of Muslim players in the German football team, they represent two key issues when we talk about immigration and integration in Germany, which are first, who is German? Who belongs to the German nation? And the second one is, are people who are of different origin, especially Turkish citizens, and last week there was a brilliant photo opportunity for me for this presentation, are they loyal to the German state? Okay, the immigration of Muslims to Germany started in 1961 with the arrival of Turkish workers who helped German companies during the growth of the economy in the 1960s. That's why Germany signed recruitment agreements with both Turkey, Tunisia, Morocco, also other European states, but of non-Muslim origin. These people were given the name guest workers, Gastarbeiter, because both them and also the German state thought they are going to stay for a few years, and then when they worked enough and made enough money, they are going to go back to their home countries. This, however, never happened. However, only in 1990, the Germans slowly realized that since 1961, there are a lot of Muslims in Germany. We never thought about how to integrate them. Until the mid-80s, for example, children of Turkish guest workers, if they had to go to school at all, they oftentimes went to schools for handicapped people because the state said, they don't speak German so well, so let's put them with the handicapped people, not in the regular schools. And the most important thing for them is that Muslims, especially Turks, who came to Germany, they never, until 2000, never had the opportunity to become German citizens. What does it mean? Obviously, they feel somehow connected to the Turkish state. They also have Turkish citizenship. They have a citizenship of a state. They're not stateless. But they cannot participate in the German nation. They cannot vote. They cannot be voted for. For some offices, for example, to become a judge, to become a lawyer, it's not possible if you're not a German citizen. So what does it mean? They have no influence in shaping the country. By 1990, however, we're not speaking anymore of a Turkish-dominated Islam in Germany. We're speaking now about Iranians who fled after the Iranian Revolution in 1979. We talk about Lebanese and Palestinians who come from the Lebanese Civil War who flee to Germany. And lately we're having the so-called refugee crisis, a crisis where people from especially Syria, Afghanistan, Iraq, come to Germany to seek refuge from the wars in their countries. I said that in the year 2000, finally, the citizenship laws in Germany were changed. And I say that there's a big difference as opposed to the last presentation about France. You came to France and you wanted to become part of France, means you accept French values and you can become a citizen. Germans define their citizenship much different. A German citizen until the year 2000 was someone who was German by blood. There was no way to become German if not by blood, with the exception of refugees such as Iranians for whom it was sure they could never go back to their home countries, as opposed to the Turks who could. So in 2000, finally, the law was changed, which meant that, and you'll see it in the next slide, that until the year 2000, for people with foreign roots, for Turks, to be part of the national team was almost impossible because you had no German citizenship. You couldn't play for the German national team. Today, around 20 to 25% of Germans, depending on the study that you read, have foreign roots, meaning that at least one of their parents was not born in Germany. And around 6% of the German population are Muslim, around 5.5 million people, including the refugees since 2015. Those who are now part of the German state, and those football players that we are talking about now in the next slide, they usually have dual citizenship. most of them Turkish-German. Again, the dual citizenship is only possible since the year 2000, when people who have lived in Germany for a substantial amount of time, 8 years usually, could apply for German citizenship. And it means that the Turkish players of the German national team, they have both Turkish and German citizenship. The few problems why dual citizenship is such a debated issue in Germany is, for example, service in the military, or taxation, or as well loyalty, which I'm going to talk about soon. Muslims in German football, actually the picture will be in the next slide I just see. Muslims in German football is, or Muslim football in Germany. The first Turkish football club was founded in 1965. Today we have a lot of ethnic Turkish football clubs in Germany where, again, Turks play together and usually there's no German players in the team. Also, many of them play in German teams. But we have, alone in Berlin, 25 Turkish football clubs. And in the Ruhrgebiet, for example, where the place Özil and Gündoğan, which are probably the most famous, they are from, sorry? And Emre Can. I'm not sure where he's born, actually. No, I'm not sure where he was born, I said. But Gündoğan and Özil are the most famous ones. They're from the Ruhrgebiet. There we have more than 50 clubs who are Turkish-dominated, who are run by Turks, and only Turks play there. They established these clubs either because they didn't feel welcome in regular German clubs because of racism or discrimination, because they wanted to play together to keep up some kind of community project, or in order to avoid things that are traditions that are very common in German football. If you play in a German team, you drink beer after the game and you eat sausage after the match. The most successful of these Turkish clubs is the Berliner AK, Berliner Athletic Club, which currently plays in the 4th German league, which is one league below professional football. However, the club evolved and now hosts many non-Turkish players. And there are very few halal clubs in Germany, meaning no alcohol, no pork. Players who join this club sign an agreement that they will refrain from all of these, refrain from using insults during the match. They pray together before the match. And the first one was only founded in 2008 in Hamburg. Okay, here we see Muslims in the national team. The first one to be technically a Muslim in a German national team was in 1996, Mehmet Scholl. Why only in 1996? Well, again, at that time, Turks didn't have German citizenship. The reason why Mehmet Scholl could join the team was because his mother was German, so he had German citizenship from his mother. However, classifying Mehmet Scholl as the typical or a Muslim example is a bit difficult because he is not religious, and after he ended his career, most of his TV appearances are since then to make commercial for a German beer brand. So for sure nothing halal in this. In the German, and now the number 8 in the picture is him. All of the other people in this team are Germans. In 1998, he couldn't participate, which meant that no player with foreign roots was in the team. You saw the picture of the previous presentation from the picture from 1998, when there was a lot of foreign players. Not the case in Germany. After 2000, however, the situation has changed. You see in 2002, after the citizenship laws have changed, we now have had Gerald Asamoah, born in Ghana, Miroslav Klose, born in Poland, Oliver Neville, born in Switzerland, but of Belgian descent. And in 2010, we finally have the first real Muslim Turkish and Tunisian players, sons of former guest workers. Sedat Taski, Turkish, Mesut Özil, Turkish, and Sami Khedira with a father from Tunisia. This situation evolves so that now in 2014 you see a team, the one that in 2014 won the World Cup for Germany. You see a much more diverse team. 6 of these players in the picture have foreign roots, and 3 of them Turkish. You see Mesut Özil in the right corner, Sami Khedira is in the center left, and the other one is Mustafi, who is two next to him. Shkodran Mustafi of Albanian Macedonian origin. And the future looks brighter, I would say. With 2018, you see we have in the preliminary squad 8 players of foreign origin, again 3 of them Turkish. What about religion in the national team? Yes, the national team also provides Muslim players with halal meat. It's not a problem. However, religion, and this scholar Mustafi said in an interview, is that it doesn't play a big role in the team. And also the Muslim players who are openly affiliating with their religion, who are openly representing their religion, such as Mesut Özil, most prominent of them, they do acknowledge that, for example, when there is a big tournament, that Ramadan, combining football and Ramadan is not possible. So what they do is either they fast afterwards or they pay a higher sum in zakat to make up for it. For example, Mesut Özil, however, says that he's praying 5 times a day. He became very famous, and I have a picture of him in Mecca when he did the Hajj. Why is it so difficult for Germans to talk about Muslims or foreigners in the national team? Because many people in Germany are still saying Germany is a nation that is rooted in culture. You cannot become German because you're not part of centuries of development of the German nation. And because we debate whether actually something like Islam can be part of Germany, which defines itself, even though if it's a secular country, defines itself more so, ever more, through Christianity. And there is a debate in Germany whether Islam belongs to Germany. This was sparked in 2010 by the publication of a book called Deutschland schafft sich ab. Germany is doing away with itself, in which a politician from the Labour Party claimed that because of all the Muslims who come and because they're all working in the lower social spheres, they are ruining the country because the Turks and the North Africans who come, they're stupid. And because they have more children than regular Germans, Germany will become more stupid over time. Since then, we are debating, can Islam be part of Germany? And the big majority, especially of the parties represented in the parliament in Germany, in the Bundestag, say yes, Islam is part of Germany. Why? There are 3 arguments for this. First of all, Germany was responsible for bringing all these Muslims to Germany, again, in the 1960s. In order to rebuild the German economy after the war, we've invited millions of Muslims to work for us. The second one, Muslims contributed positively to the society. And here, Mesut Özil is an example that's often brought up. He is a Muslim who is benefiting Germany because of his talent in football. And because, well, after the war, we need to define ourselves as a religiously friendly nation. So in order to have a liberal society, we need to say that Islam is part of Germany. Those who oppose it say, no, Sharia is opposing democracy. Not sure if they really, those people who say it, they're represented now, and since the last elections in 2017, they're represented with 13% in the German parliament. They say Sharia is opposed to democracy. I'm not sure if they really know what Sharia is, but or if they could really define it, but they say no because in Sharia there is a capital punishment, for example, for breaking the marriage. This cannot be part of Germany. Also, they say that Muslims who come want to Islamize Germany. They are working slowly in order to make Germany a Muslim country. And lastly, and there is again the notion of Leitkultur, which is very, very central to Germany, which, however, has no clear definition. Some say German Leitkultur, leading culture, guiding culture, is defined by the German past, by the values, by poems, by traditions, by Christianity. Lately, they also include Judaism because they realized that if they just say Christianity, it might make them look suspicious. So lately, neglecting all the years of anti-Semitism in Germany, we now say that also Judaism is part of culture. The right finally says that too. And what about religion? When Mesut Özil posted this picture of his Hajj to Mecca in 2016, this was already towards the election campaign for the federal elections of 2017. And Alexander Gauland, who is a politician of this now right-wing party in the German parliament, said he will tolerate that Mesut Özil went there, but he cannot accept that, for example, Muslims who work for the German state in the German administration, if they went to do the Hajj, this meant for them that they are opposing German values and they're opposing the notion of the German state. So he says he wouldn't allow people who work for the government to go also on the Hajj, even if they're Muslim, even if they're German citizens, which many of them are since 2000. And, but again, this picture didn't create a huge fuss in Germany because Özil is the one who's like the good Muslim who represents Germany. So you see, that also the national team in Germany is abused for racist purposes a lot. NPD is the national, is basically the really right-wing party, the extremist right-wing party, however, not in parliament. They say, for example, white should be not only the color of the jersey, but also of the people wearing the jersey, and they're afraid of a more racist. I want to quickly go on to the second aspect in 2 minutes. The aspect of loyalty. We say that we are fearing that Muslims who play for Germany, also as they're representing Germany, but we fear that Turkish Muslims, many of them have dual citizenship again. They are not loyal to the German state and to the German values because many of them support Recep Tayyip Erdogan, the president of Turkey, who frequently, before every election, he flies to Germany in order to inspire German Turks to vote for him, and with great success. So last week, this picture was posted, and you see İlkay Gündoğan, Mesut Özil, and Cenk Tosun. Cenk Tosun, exactly. All of them were, except for Erdogan, all of them were born in Germany, these three of them, but Gündoğan and Özil play for the German national team, Tosun plays for the Turkish national team. And if you look at the squad of the Turkish national team, they have 8 or so players who were born in Germany. So you see that they are divided on the issue where to play, and I think sometimes it may have something to do with the quality of the level of their football. After this picture came out, 36% of Germans in a survey stated that they would like to kick out Gündoğan and Özil from the national team because of this act of disloyalty. Gündoğan handed Erdogan a jersey which said, "My dear president," or "Thanks, my dear president." He can do that because Erdogan technically is his president. He's a Turkish citizen. But obviously, if you support someone like Erdogan, who's clearly drifting with Turkey towards a dictatorship, it's not well perceived in Germany. But finally, and to end on a good note, to end this presentation on a good note, this last picture created a lot of fuss in Germany. That's why Mesut Özil and İlkay Gündoğan afterwards met with the German president, Steinmeier, and that's where this picture is from. This was also last week, in order to emphasize, yes, we do respect Germany, we do respect German values, and Steinmeier, the president, also said, I do respect that you have 2 homes, that a home can be plural. You can have Turkey as a home and Germany as a home. And so basically the entire affair was calmed down with a picture that shows them together with the German president. And lastly, Gündoğan explains kind of why this happened, why is such a picture possible of people who are born in Germany, who are playing for the German national team, how can they take a picture with the Turkish president? It's because for them, they grew up in the 1990s without ever the thought of being German citizens, because until 2000, not possible for them. The entire childhood, they were Turks. They were prepared to play for Turkey or to be Turkish citizens and to be loyal to Turkey, not to Germany. So for them, because it was such a long thought, that Turkey plays still a big role.